Many people see a wagging tail and immediately think one thing: happy dog. This simple idea is comforting and widespread, a cornerstone of how we interpret our canine friends. But the truth is far more complex and fascinating than that simple assumption. A dog's tail is not just a metronome for joy, it is a sophisticated signaling device, capable of broadcasting a whole spectrum of emotions. Deep-seated anxiety, cautious curiosity, unbridled excitement, assertive confidence that wagging appendage is a rich source of information. It is a language without words, a visual broadcast of a dog's inner state. Scientists have become increasingly curious about this silent language, dedicating research to decode its subtle nuances. A pivotal study from the University of Trento in Italy brought this topic into the scientific spotlight, revealing that the way a dog wags its tail is far from random. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries in tail-wagging research is the importance of direction. It's a detail most people miss, but it holds a significant clue to a dog's emotional state. A wag is not always a perfectly symmetrical sweep from side to side. Often, it is biased more toward one side than the other. When a dog's tail wags with a stronger emphasis toward its right side, this is generally linked to positive and welcoming emotions. Think about the feelings a dog has when it sees its favorite person walk through the door. This right-sided wag is controlled by the left hemisphere of the dog's brain. In both dogs and humans, the left side of the brain is associated with feelings of safety, comfort, approach behaviors. When a dog feels happy, relaxed, open to an experience, the left brain is more active, resulting in that joyful, right-sweeping tail. You might see this type of wag when you pull out their favorite toy, prepare their dinner, greet them after being away for a few hours. On the other hand, a wag that is biased more toward the dog's left side tells a very different story. This movement is often linked to negative or uncertain feelings, such as nervousness, fear, anxiety. Beyond the direction of the wag, the height at which a dog holds its tail is another critical piece of the puzzle. 3 silhouettes: high tail, neutral tail, tucked tail labeled confident, alert, calm, neutral, fearful, submissive. The vertical position of the tail acts like a barometer for the dog's confidence and social standing. A high, often stiffly held tail is a display of high arousal, confidence, or alertness. It makes the dog appear larger and more formidable. It can be a sign of dominance or that the dog is on high alert, assessing a potential challenge or threat, the canine equivalent of standing up straight and puffing out one's chest. In contrast, a neutral mid-level tail is the hallmark of a calm, relaxed, friendly dog. When the tail extends naturally from the spine, neither raised nor tucked, the dog feels at ease. This is the baseline for a content dog, not threatened or assertive. Peaceful walk, lounging in the living room, gentle, friendly greeting with a familiar person or pet, an open, non-confrontational posture. At the other end is the low or tucked tail, fear, anxiety, submission, insecurity. Tucking the tail makes the dog try to appear smaller and less noticeable. It also covers the scent glands around the anus, hiding personal information and signaling, "I don't want to engage." A fully tucked tail pressed to the belly indicates extreme fear or stress. The dog feels overwhelmed and wants to avoid conflict at all costs. Understanding this height hierarchy is essential for safe, respectful interactions. A high tail demands attention and caution. It signals high arousal. Proceed accordingly. A mid-level tail invites calm interaction. A low or tucked tail requests space and gentle reassurance. Pay attention to vertical tail position to gauge a dog's emotional temperature and respond in a way that makes them feel safe and understood. The speed and style of a tail's movement add another layer to the message being sent. The tempo of the wag reveals a dog's excitement or arousal. A fast, broad, sweeping wag signals pure joy and high excitement. You see this when a dog is about to go on a car ride, or when it greets a beloved family member. Sometimes the enthusiasm doesn't stop at the tail. The dog's rear end wiggles. Sometimes the whole body wiggles. That full body wag screams happy and friendly. A slower, more deliberate sweep often means calmer but uncertain. It's not frantic, it's thoughtful. Dogs use this slow wag when they're feeling insecure or when they're carefully assessing a new situation. For example, when meeting a new person, a dog may offer a slow, tentative wag as it decides if the stranger is a friend or a potential threat. The amplitude matters too. A broad wag, wide arc, is typically friendly. It suggests openness and sociability. A small, high-frequency, nearly vibrating wag can mean something else, especially if paired with a stiff body or a high-tail carriage. That combination can signal high arousal and potential aggression. The dog is tense and on the verge of action, maybe chasing a squirrel or confronting another dog. It's readiness, not relaxation. These nuances in speed and movement are vital for interpreting intent. A wag is not just a wag. A loose, full-body wiggle versus a tense, high-speed vibration is the difference between wants to play and warning you to back off. Watch tempo and style, along with direction and height, to get a clearer read on what the dog feels so you can react appropriately and safely. While the general rules of tail language apply to most dogs, the physical characteristics of a dog's tail can significantly alter how signals are sent and received. Different breeds were developed for different purposes, resulting in a wide array of tail shapes and sizes, each with its own accent. Pugs have tightly curled tails that sit high on their backs. Basenjis have tightly curled tails that sit high on their backs. Shiba Inus have tightly curled tails that sit high on their backs. That high curl can be mistaken for alertness or confidence even when the dog is calm. Their ability to wag is limited. With curly-tailed dogs, learn to read subtle cues. Don't expect a big sweep. Watch the base of the tail. A happy pug often shows joy by rapidly twitching the root of its tail, making the curl jiggle. A relaxed Shiba shows a slightly looser curl. A tense one winds the tail tighter. Their signals are understated. Small changes at the tail base matter. Similarly, dogs with naturally short or bobbed tails, boxers, Australian shepherds, some bulldogs, they face a communication challenge. Their tails can't make broad, sweeping signals. A wag may be a frantic, vibrating stump, so you must read other body language. A happy boxer uses its whole body, wiggling rump and bouncy front paws, soft, droopy ears, and a compact, rounded body. You can't use a one-size-fits-all approach. Consider the dog's breed and individual anatomy. Dogs with long, expressive tails. Labrador, German Shepherd. Those dogs often give big, easy-to-read signals. Dogs with dock tails, curly tails, or naturally short tails rely more on other cues. Become adept at observing ears, eyes, mouth, and overall body posture to get the full story. A single tail wag viewed in isolation is like hearing a single word from a sentence. It might give you a hint, but it rarely tells the whole story. The true key to understanding canine communication is context. This means combining the tail's signals, its direction, height, speed, movement style, with all the other cues the dog is giving with the rest of its body. A wag, accompanied by a relaxed body, soft eyes, slightly open mouth, is a world away from a wag paired with a stiff posture, hard stare, low growl. Let's consider an example. Imagine you see a dog with a high, stiffly wagging tail. If you only look at the tail, you might think the dog is happy. But now, let's add context. The dog's body is rigid, its ears are pinned forward, its lips are pulled back to show its teeth. It is making a low, rumbling growl. In this context, the high, stiff wag is not a sign of joy. It is a clear and unambiguous warning. The dog is highly aroused, on the verge of aggression, and is telling you to stay back. Ignoring the rest of the body language could lead to a dangerous situation. Now, let's flip that scenario. You see a dog with a fast wagging tail. But this time, the dog's body is loose and wiggly. Its posture is low in a play bow. Its eyes are soft and squinty. Its mouth is open in a relaxed, grin. In this context, the wag is exactly what it appears to be, a sign of pure, unadulterated happiness and a desire to play. The combination of all these signals creates a coherent message of friendly intent. This is why becoming a student of whole dog communication is so important. Always scan the dog from nose to tail. Ears relaxed, ears pinned back in fear, ears forward in high alert, eyes soft and almond-shaped, eyes wide and round showing the whites, whale eye, mouth closed and tense, mouth open and panting gently. Body posture fluid and relaxed. Body stiff and frozen. When you put all these pieces together, the tail's message becomes crystal clear, allowing you to respond with confidence and safety. Let's bring this knowledge into the real world with some clear examples you can look for at home at the dog park on a walk. First, picture the classic happy greeting. Your dog hasn't seen you all day. As you walk through the door, its tail begins to wag in a wide, sweeping arc biased to the right. The motion is so enthusiastic that its entire back end wiggles a move, often called a full-body wag. Its body is loose, its eyes are soft, and it might even drop into a play bow. This is Canine for "I'm so incredibly happy to see you." Now, imagine a more cautious scenario at the dog park. A new dog enters the enclosure. Your dog approaches, but its body is a little stiff. Its tail is held at a mid-level height, and it's giving a slow, tentative wag, biased slightly to the left. Its ears are rotating, listening, and its eyes are watching the new dog intently. This isn't aggression, but it's not pure joy either. This is a dog in assessment mode. It's saying, "I'm not sure about this newcomer yet. I'm going to proceed with caution." This is a moment to watch closely. Consider a tense encounter. Two unfamiliar dogs meet on a leash. One dog stands tall, its tail held high and stiff, wagging in short, tense, almost vibrating movements. Its body is rigid, its hackles might be raised, and it's giving the other dog a hard, direct stare. This is a clear display of dominance and a warning. The wag is a sign of high arousal, not friendliness. The other dog responds by lowering its body, tucking its tail slightly, and giving a slow, low wag while avoiding eye contact. This is a submissive signal, an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Finally, think about a fearful dog. During a thunderstorm, your dog might retreat to a corner. Its tail is tucked tightly between its legs, so much so that it's barely visible. If it wags at all, it will be a very small, low, anxious twitch. Its body is trembling, its eyes are wide, and it might be panting heavily. This is a dog in a state of fear, and its tail language is a desperate plea for safety and comfort. It's not a time for loud noises or sudden movements, but for quiet, calm reassurance that you are there to protect it. Narrator. While a dog's tail is an incredibly expressive tool, it is crucial to remember that it is just one instrument in a full orchestra of body language. Narrator. To truly understand what a dog is communicating, you must learn to listen to the entire symphony. Narrator. The face, in particular, offers a wealth of information. The eyes can be soft and squinty in contentment, or wide and round in fear, showing the whites in a classic stress signal known as whale eye. A hard, direct stare is often confrontational, while averting a gaze is a sign of appeasement or nervousness. Narrator. The ears are another key indicator. Erect, forward-pointing ears signal alertness and intense focus. Ears that are pulled back flat against the head can indicate fear or submission. Relaxed, neutral ears, sitting naturally, suggest a calm state of mind. Narrator. The dog's mouth also speaks volumes. A dog with a relaxed, slightly open mouth and a gently panting tongue is often content. In contrast, a tightly closed mouth, pulled back lips, a submissive grin, or a lip curl that exposes teeth are all important signals of stress, appeasement, or a warning. Narrator. A dog's overall posture and how it carries its weight are also fundamental. A dog that is leaning forward with a tense, rigid body is in a state of high arousal, possibly preparing for action. A dog that is cowering, with a low body posture and weight shifted backward, is feeling fearful and defensive. A playful dog will be loose, bouncy, and will often use exaggerated movements like a play bow, front end down, rear end up, to signal its friendly intentions. Even the state of a dog's fur, such as raised hackles along the spine, can indicate arousal, fear, or aggression. Narrator. Therefore, the most skilled canine communicators are those who practice holistic observation. They don't just glance at the tail. They scan the entire dog and the surrounding environment. They ask themselves, what are the eyes saying? Where are the ears? What is the mouth doing? How is the body positioned? By synthesizing all of this information, you can move from making educated guesses to having a deep and intuitive understanding of a dog's emotional state. This comprehensive approach is the foundation of a safe, respectful, and deeply connected relationship with any dog. The wag of a dog's tail is a beautiful and complex form of communication, far richer than a simple binary of happy or sad. As we've explored, it is a nuanced language direction, height-speed movement style. A wag biased to the right often signals positive feelings, while a left-leaning wag suggests caution. A high tail can broadcast confidence, while a low or tucked tail reveals fear. A fast, loose wag is a beacon of joy, whereas a slow or tense wag signals a dog that is still assessing the situation. These are the foundational words in the vocabulary of tail talk. However, the most important lesson is that the tail never talks alone. Its message is always shaped by the dog's breed and, most critically, by the context provided by the rest of its body. Eyes, ears, mouth, overall posture. A happy wag is confirmed by a loose, wiggly body and soft eyes. A warning wag is clarified by a stiff posture and a hard stare. By learning to observe the whole dog, you graduate from a novice listener to a fluent speaker of their language. Ultimately, understanding this silent dialogue is about more than just satisfying our curiosity. It is about building a bridge of empathy and respect. When we can recognize the subtle signs of fear or anxiety, we can respond with calm reassurance and give a dog the space it needs to feel safe. When we can confidently identify a joyful invitation to play, we can engage in a way that strengthens our bond. This knowledge empowers us to prevent misunderstandings, avoid conflict, and create a world that is safer and happier for both humans and dogs.